One aspect of the Super Mario Bros. Franchise that I love, and also really enjoy making videos about, are the amazing secrets that you can come across on your journey. Always wanting to find them all so I can show them off to my family, friends, and of course, you guys. Today in particular, I came up with the idea to focus on secret enemies in every single Super Mario Bros. Entry, displaying ones that are out of your way from your regular adventure, or they give you some sort of prize for finally defeating them. I'll do my best to explain why they're so elusive, and why they deserve a spot in this video. And oh yeah, before I get started, my name is Copycat, and if you haven't yet, then please subscribe to my channel, hitting that bell to stay notified when I upload new videos. The very first home console game to be released in the series was Super Mario Bros. For the Nintendo Entertainment System, containing only one enemy that I'd even consider somewhat secret in the Buzzy Beetle. Not only is this foe rare to come across during the base gameplay, but it also replaces all Goombas once you unlock the Super Secret Hard Mode, activated by beating the main game, then by pressing B on the title screen to enter this new quest. Here, enemies move faster, lift platforms are much smaller than their original size, all fire bars that can be in place are, and of course, the swap between the Goombas and Buzzy Beetles takes place, which in the end aren't major changes, but is just enough to make things a bit more difficult. The second in the series to come out on the NES is Super Mario Bros. 2 that was released in North America in 1988, having one enemy that's so secret it only appears one single time in the Red Sniffet. These creatures are strange Shy Guy-like foes who usually shoot projectiles towards you, or just walk back and forth patrolling an area. However, the red one found in World 3-3 operates a bit different, as it's not constrained to a specific ledge, and can actually walk off it to try and damage you. I'm honestly not sure why the specific one is so different than the others. It could be a bug, or it could be an Easter egg, but either way, its existence was never explained. The final of the original trilogy is Super Mario Bros. 3. They came out in North America in 1990, containing a few enemies I want to mention as being secret, starting with the Bowser statues. I'm putting these foes on this list only because at first glance they just seem like inanimate objects. That is, until they start breathing fire at you. I get that their presence isn't as shocking now, as they've pretty much become a staple to the series, but at the time, them springing to life and attacking you during Bowser's Castle was just insane. That can be completely skipped, so I'm sure there's many of you who've passed over this bad guy. Now, these are different from the normal walking piranha plants, because instead of just trying to get in your way, there are two other enemies from this title I want to show off that aren't well known, mainly due to the fact they don't even show up in the base game and only appear in the secret battle mode, in the Fighter Fly and Crab. This multiplayer face-off against a friend can be activated if you start a 2-player game, then place Mario and Luigi on the same point in the overworld, allowing you to experience something very close to the brothers' original arcade entry. Here, the emphasis is on hitting these foes from the bottom, then kicking them off the stage to defeat them, rather than the normal stomping we've become accustomed to. There isn't necessarily an enemy that could be labeled as secret in the first handheld Mario entry, Super Mario Land for the Game Boy, but there is one that many people didn't even know was considered an enemy in the Tamao. This ball of energy can be seen protecting the Dragon Zamzu during the Muda Kingdom's boss battle, which damages Mario when he touches it, but it can't be destroyed in any way, shape, or form. I didn't realize this was supposed to be a living thing, and I always just took it as an obstacle, but I guess Nintendo felt like they needed another baddie, at least to make this pretty easy fight slightly harder. The next home console game to be released was Super Mario World for the SNES, as one enemy instantly comes to my mind as being secret in the Big Boo, specifically the one that you have to fight in the Donut's secret house. This is only found through a hidden alternate route up a beanstalk, where this bigger Boo can only be beaten by throwing or flicking grab blocks at it, hitting it 3 times to find the exit to Star World. One variation of an enemy I actually had no clue about is the Whistling Charging Chuck, found only within forests. This football-playing foe can actually spawn other enemies by whistling. mainly the Rip Van Fish and Green Super Koopas, which truly is not an ability I ever realized these enemies had. Finally, I just need to mention the secret changes to a few bad guys that occur once you've completed the super secret special world, where the Koopas and Piranha Plants become something completely different. Hilariously, the Koopas are forced to wear masks that make them look like a messed up version of our mustachioed hero, and the Piranha Plants now have pumpkins for heads. A change I'm not sure that was needed, but is still appreciated. The second handheld entry to come out for the Game Boy was Super Mario Land 2, containing very wacky worlds with a couple enemies I want to focus on, starting with the Goomba Ghosts. Only 4 of these goofy looking ghouls are found throughout the entire game, with all of them showing up in the third Pumpkin Zone stage. Honestly moving a bit like regular old Goombas that just can't be stomped on by Mario. Okay, I get these aren't exactly secret, but I am the creator, editor, producer, and writer of this video, so from time to time my biases are definitely going to shine through. Now, a foe you can definitely argue is secret in nature is the Jack-in-the-Box, mainly because it jumps out of a question mark block to surprise you, but also because it only resides in one single stage. This is the Mario Zone Jagged Spike stage, aka the third level of that world, where there are 3 placed within certain boxes that creepily pop out and give you a scare, especially if you already don't like clowns. The first 3D based game in the franchise was Super Mario 64 for the N64, which is where the money bags, aka the coin coffer, is introduced, an iconic secret enemy. A few can be found within the Snowman's Land stage disguised as a single coin, that when touched will damage you and transform into the purse, or that when stomped will dispel out 5 coins. This creature will show up a lot more later in this video as sort of the default coin giver, although it changes somewhat from appearance to appearance, so stay tuned. In the GameCube Super Mario Sunshine entry, there's really only one enemy I'd think of being secret in the Golden Bullet Bill, as it gives you a prize for defeating it. These are shot out of the cannon controlled by the Monty Mole in the second episode of Pinna Park, where spraying it with your flash liquidizing ultra dowsing device will make them explode, revealing 8 coins to collect. This is probably the easiest way to gain the 100 Shine Sprite in this particular course, as not only can you farm coins from this golden foe, but even the regular black ones will at least give you 1 for defeating them. Nintendo will return the series to its 2D roots with the creation of new Super Mario Bros. For the dual screen system, having 2 enemies that I'd sort of consider secret, starting with the Snail Corn. This strange but majestic foe appears only in World 5-3 and World 5B, just walking back and forth on a platform, sort of just minding their own business. I'm not sure how or why this character was created, but it would never ever appear again in a Mario title, so I guess it's secret in a sort of underutilized kind of way. Another enemy that does fall in the same boat is the Squiggler, who here only appears in the World 7A stage, getting there by finding the secret exit in World 7-5. These Squigglers are really just miniature, childlike versions of the regular Wigglers, and can actually be defeated by usual normal methods, which is also a big difference. Although not showing up in another Super Mario title, a single Squiggler shows up in the Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story entry, so they weren't completely forgotten about, unlike the Snail Corn. The first space-based entry in the series is Super Mario Galaxy for the Wii, having only a single foe that possesses any secret at all in the Golden Chomp. Found rolling around a series of planets in the Gussie Garden Galaxy, you need to collect a Rainbow Star to power up Mario to become invincible, as in that state you can kill the Chomp. This then reveals that there's a star inside of this rare foe, a great gift from a great galaxy from a great enemy. The second entry in the new Super Mario Bros. Sub-series came out for the Wii in 2009, where through my research I found one enemy I can showcase in the Giant Goomba. This is because 2 of these monstrosities can only be found in the Goomba enemy course of World 1, although them showing up is sort of random, as you can also just get 4 hefty Goombas or 8 regular Goombas. Not sure what's up with the randomness, but it definitely confused me a bit at first, as when I was filming this video, I wasn't aware that this was a thing, and got confused when they didn't show up. The second entry in the Space Sub-series also came out for the Wii, but in 2010, having two enemies I want to look at, beginning with the funny little Kleptoads. These frog beings are found only in the Hytale Falls galaxy, seen carrying items or stars, sort of just placeholders for the usual bunnies that are in Mario games, that can be seen hopping around that you have to capture to gain certain items. But I guess they wanted to go with something slightly different, albeit still secret. An enemy that's secret for a completely different reason are the tracks, mainly because they are invisible until uncovered, and only show up in one galaxy, the Starshine Beach. These are sack-like creatures that are very similar to the Moneybags, although they do have legs, wear Japanese like sandals, and have eyes that look a lot like the bloopers. The easiest way to defeat it is by finding its tracks to see where it is, then by spinning near it, which will stun it for a brief period of time. This leaves it open for an attack from a fireball or Koopa Shell, where it then will drop 20 star bits as a bit of a secret prize. Nintendo would perfectly blend aspects of the 2D and 3D realms with the release of Super Mario 3D Land for the 3DS, where the coin coffer makes a return in this title, although it does act quite differently. Instead of being invisible, these purse-like frogs can be found hiding under stones or bushes, or appear just out in the open like they do in World 2-3. Stomping it normally won't kill it immediately, and instead doing that 5 times will dispel all of their coins. Or you could just use the star and become invincible, allowing you to do it in one quick hit. Next up is the 3DS New Super Mario Bros. Installment that was released for the portable system in 2012, containing a certain type of enemy that I guess is secret across the entire game, and the ones that have turned into gold. Only found in specific places, these include golden variants of Goombas, Koopa Troopas, Lakitus, Hammer Bros, Piranha Plants, Cheep Cheeps, Boos, and Bullet Bills, all of which have their own way of spewing tons of coins at you, making them less of enemies and I guess more like friends. They appear so often that it sort of ruins their secretivity, and you're fed coins, which turns the game into something too easy, when a bit of a risk always equals fun. Now, the coin coffer also shows up in this title, again acting slightly differently than its counterparts we just looked at. Here spawning after activating a red coin ring, bouncing around the stage, while dropping the 8 red coins for you to collect. These baddies are only seen throughout World Star and across the DLC Nintendo released for the game, clearly becoming a go-to for the developers to use if they need a bit of a secret. The final of the new Super Mario Bros. Sub-series came out for the Wii U in 2012, having only one enemy that can even fit into the category of being secret in Nabbit, the purple antagonist that steals items from the map that you need to retrieve. These occur in already played levels across basically every world you visit, having to chase down this nabbing rabbit so you can have all of the items that he's stolen. In the new Super Luigi U DLC Year of the Luigi inspired game mode, Nabbit actually becomes a playable character made pretty much for young kids and newbies, as his main trait is that he can't take any damage at all. Nabbit has now become essentially a staple character to the franchise, as he's going to appear in the newest entry, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, again as a character that's completely invincible, except of course the fall damage. Up next is the Super Mario 3D World Wii U entry, where honestly the only enemy that sticks out at all as being secret is the coin coffer again. These ones, however, are invisible at first, just like those Moneybags were in Super Mario 64, only being slightly visible if you approach them, but they do run away scared if you're too close. Probably my favorite game in the entire series is the massive Super Mario Odyssey for the Nintendo Switch entry, where once again, the coin coffer triumphantly returns. Although because of the capture mechanic, they are again slightly different. Still being invisible to your naked eye until you get near, it's when they're captured where things change drastically, as they act more like coin boxes, allowing you to collect the coins they spew out. Also, you can shoot these coins forward as projectiles that can damage things, or you can flick the controller and 20 of them will quickly get spit out in a circle. These two methods actually cost you coins, so be careful that you don't use it too much or else you'll run out. The coin collection aspect of this enemy is actually a great use during the Luigi's Balloon World game mode, as the more coins that you collect on your run, the more time that's added to your clock. Another enemy that's sort of ish a mini-boss, appearing in 2 very secretive areas, is Donkey Kong, albeit his 2D version from the arcade series of the same name. His appearances are during the New Donk City Festival and near the end of a long journey's end, needing to bonk the question mark blocks underneath the odd foe to beat it. The final title we're going to look at in this video is the Bowser's Fury game mode, which was added alongside the re-release of Super Mario 3D World for the Switch, with the coin coffer again being in consideration as a secret enemy. Here they act the exact same as in Super Mario 3D World, but like everything else in Lake Lapcat, they're completely catified, which at least is a bit different. One enemy that's actually unique to this entry is the Disaster Neko, which surprised me a lot when I first came across them, as they're just the regular kittens who've become corrupt during Fury Bowser's rampage. I really just didn't expect this at all, as I never thought things so cute could turn so evil. Alright, that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. I really hope you did enjoy this one. If you did, please leave a like, comment below what you thought about it, and please subscribe to my channel to stay tuned for Super Mario Bros. Wonder videos, which I'm planning on making a lot of on this channel. Also, please go follow my Instagram at CopyCatGamer. There I upload some cool clips and items for my collection that you won't see anywhere else. Hope you guys all have a good day, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!